Communist Hungary was once one of HOI4's worst paths, but a lot has changed since those days. So, is that still true? Let's find out. Right, first things first, we're going to have to get rid of Mr. Horthy. And to do that, we are going to have to do a new opposition. Hey, at least for once it isn't the right opposition, you know? And hey, 50 PP, less support. That's alright. And now we have to choose. We can either politicize the Leventi associations, do salami slicing tactics, or undermine the paramilitaries. In my opinion, however, the only one that's worth doing is salami slicing tactics. It's 35 days long and I think we'll be fine. But you know, if you want to do the other two, I'm sure it'll be okay. The moment has arrived. Let's revive the spirit of 1848. Come on, Horthy, you know what's coming. Let's do it. But you know what is kind of funny? Even this, which is very fast, is still slower than Germany's civil war. Germany's civil war has already started by now. Meanwhile, we still have to wait another 50 odd days or so. I just think that's kind of funny. But anyway, what to do about these guys? Go away. Okay, let's go. Next focus, war games. And this is kind of interesting. Because of what we've done, secret rearmament has bypassed. And, more importantly, we've lost Trianon. And that actually is a positive in this path's favour. In the past, when Hungary flipped ideology, there was no civil war, so you wouldn't lose Trianon. So in a very funny way, this path has actually been buffed a tiny bit. I do believe this might be the quickest way for Hungary to get rid of Trianon. Anyway, 8. Not bad. On the front line, let's try and take Budapest, please. Good, there's a gap, let's take that quickly. They're attacking, perfect. Actually, that might be... Yes, I can hold that one. Don't enter there, I have an idea. Yes, they've just left Budapest. That's quite silly, but that's fine by me. Is that it? Perfect. I thought we'd have to take something like Debrecen or something, but nope, just Budapest. And yes, I do acknowledge that this is very quick too, just like Germany's, but... Oh well, you get what you're given sometimes. But there we go. That took us 7 days and we're already done. So never mind, not going to do war games, we're actually going to do elections. Yay, democracy! Democracy! Who is going to be the president? We can either have Bela Kun, Mateus, or you. Unfortunately, that is the democratic leader, so not you today. Bela Kun is interesting, but we'll do him later. So there is only one man for the job. The legendary... Egg. Yep, they might have changed his portrait, but he still looks like how we all know him as. Anyway, what should we do? Ah yes, join the Comintern. But anyway, what does Stalin say? Thank you, we are in the Comintern. Not that it matters right now, we're not connected. But whatever. Let's do, the Hungarian Red Army. This used to be the best focus in the entire communist tree. I mean, I can't deny, 5% recruitable for free is really good. Ooh, goulash communism. Stability and less consumer goods. I like that, that's alright, that's fine. But you know, the best thing about this focus is the advisor it gives us, Janos over here, the goulash communist. Yes, less consumer goods, but more importantly is infinite stability. Yes, it is only 0.2 a week, but come on, infinite stability. Perfect. Anyway, let's do the joint Soviet-Hungarian research efforts. Soviet-Hungarian war industry. Really good. 3 mills and slightly more research boost. Okay, but the mills, really good. Well, what do you know? Next up, a cult of personality. Paradox clearly just copied their own homework on this though. Look at this, Great Commander is one of Stalin's traits he can get in his focus tree. I will admit I do like the DRR, I always do, but surely they could have made a much more unique trait. Let me know what you think this guy should actually have instead, because I'm sure you guys could think of a load of things. The State Protection Authority. Good, good. I think spies are sort of underrated, so getting an extra one is good. Oh, and war economy. That's also pretty good. Anyway, let's do collectivization of society. 5 stability and 120 political power, but in return we get 3 civs. Good trade. Very good trade. Probably should have done that earlier, but oh well, it's done now. Soviet-Hungarian Military Academy gives doctrines. Fine, fine, it's fine. Not bad, not great, it's just okay. And now it's time for us to do Central Military Planning Committee. War support, command power, extra logistics and planning, but most importantly, it gives us some extra cores. Before this update, this was Communist Hungary's biggest problem. They had no ways to get extra cores, and yeah, this fixes that. But the ability for us to get those cores is another question. Because now it's time for us to put pressure on Romania. And I'm fairly certain this is the exact same event as it used to be. I don't think anything has changed. And, oh god, this event can be, oh, quite the problem. Quite the problem. But let's hope things go well, eh? Let's hope. Oh, for goodness sake. All that's happened is that they flipped ideology. Yep, that's all that's happened. They haven't joined the Comintern or anything. They just flipped. If you don't know, this event can have so many different outcomes. Sometimes they'll just give you Transylvania, sometimes they'll refuse, sometimes you have to ask Germany, sometimes the Soviets would say no. There is just too much RNG with this focus. But anyway, let's intervene in Czechoslovakia, which again I think is exactly the same as it used to be. It is now 35 days, but that doesn't make it better. This is also very RNG dependent. Come on, give it. Okay, at least we got Southern Slovakia. And yes, this is actually a core. So, progress! Yay! But all that's left for us now is the bulwark against the West. So I guess that's fine. That's fine. But yep, this is all of the expansion we can do via focus. It's basically exactly the same as it used to be, just with some extra cores. But luckily there is some more we can do. We now have a core on Yugoslavia over here. And as you can see, Yugoslavia is only guaranteed by Romania. So basically Yugoslavia is free. We can take them and no one will care. So sorry, see you in 135 days. Not many focuses left for us now. Next up is these hussars, which funnily enough doesn't actually affect the army. It just gives us drift defense, resistance target, and MP boosts. And just one more focus. Officialize this battalion. Good for volunteers, I suppose, but I think things are too late for Republican Spain. Whoops. Right, I think we're all ready, so let's go. Declare, call in. I think I can take Yugoslavia, but maybe not. But hey, come on Stalin, give me a hand and take Romania for me. I am surprised about how much I'm getting pushed here, but I'll make do. I'll make do. Yeah, the main problem is that, but that was my choice. And yep, that's all of the focuses we can do from this branch. So, war games, I suppose. And there we go, broken out. Right, you guys take Novi Sad. Romania definitely gave us a bit of a hard time, but when you have this guy on your side, you tend to be safe. So let's see what we can do with this. And there we go, we've actually broken out at Maribor. Timisoara is open, so let's take advantage. Oh, never mind. Should have known that one was coming. No surprise, we've negotiated the restrictions. Totally. Absolutely. Surprise Romania hasn't fallen, but I guess I can just take Kolj. That should do it. Maybe? Yes. Good. Unfortunately, the only core I have is North Transylvania. That's the only thing that's really worth taking, I think. And since the Soviets do have so much war score, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get too much. But, oh well, that was kind of the plan anyway. I'm just going to take the Bruges because I can. Not worth it, one bit, but I'd do it all the same. Right, let's take advantage of this and swing into Yugoslavia. I will admit this hasn't been my greatest performance against them, but oh well. Sometimes things just don't go well. There we go though, we still have the majority of the war score, which is just perfect. Alright Yugoslavia, you've had enough. Thank you. Again though, annoyingly, the only core we have is here. So I guess it's time to make a puppet or two. I would puppet the real Yugoslavia, but we all know what would happen then. Germany or Italy would just declare on them. So instead Serbia, Croatia, and the rest. I got one state and a load of puppets. So, is this branch of Communist Hungary good? I suppose it's okay. It's definitely better than how it was. The extra cores are fine, but compared to all the other branches in Hungary's tree, no. No. Even the democratic path got a much better buff in the recent update. But if I want to be nice about it, yes, it's alright. I even managed to pull off this run in my practice game, and it was pretty enjoyable. Defending against Germany over here was difficult but interesting. We used Slovenia to push on Italy, which was interesting, and we even managed to push all the way to Paris. So yeah, you can definitely do things with this branch, but that's mostly because Hungary is already strong. But oh well, at least I got Austria, you know? That's something. Alright, time for the other path. Yay! Right, this time it's going to be Bela Kun. And funnily enough, this is not the first time I've actually done Bela Kun. I did a video on him years ago when he was just an Easter egg in Hungary's focus tree. But now he has an actual path. Let's restore the Socialist Federative Republic. We can make a faction, 50 PP, 5 stab. But is anyone going to actually join this faction? No, of course not. Not at all. There's no way to invite anyone. But at least we get Janos again. At least we get him. It is weird that they didn't make a new portrait for Bela Kun. He has had this portrait since 2017-18, whenever Death or Dishonor came out. Just look up photos of Bela Kun in the 30s and you'll see that he doesn't look like this anymore. Reinstate the Lenin boys. But of course, this is kind of funny for me, isn't it? Because I always talk about the Beria boys, but now we're going to reinstate the Lenin boys. It would be funny to make the Beria boys and the Lenin boys fight, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it, you know? We'll get there when we get there. Right, time for a bit of industry. Socialist economy, key industries, and universal education. All of these are fine. 2 civs, tiny bit of research speed and stability. I do think it's interesting that this is the opposite of the other path. The other path gives mills, while this one gives civs. But anyway, let's take a look at the Lenin boys. Oh dear. They're just militia. And very small. 10 width. I honestly think the NKVD divisions might actually be better. But there we go, we can now promote revanchist sentiments. And this is a good national spirit. I like this is good. Good job, Paradox. And okay, just as the anarchists fall, let's do... the second Northern Campaign. Well, this now brings us on to one of the problems of Belakun's path. The next 3 focuses are all war goals. Nothing else. I have almost no idea how Paradox expects for us to do this, because look at the Czechs. They have up to 46 divisions. Can you imagine just the nightmare pushing into them? But even if we manage to do that, imagine doing something like March South. If we did that, we'd have to fight Yugoslavia and Romania without Stalin's help. Yes, we could improve relations to join the Comintern, but I'm trying to think how Paradox expects us to play this. The only way I could really see this working is with paratroopers. And I don't need to tell you that paratroopers are wildly inconsistent. I think we've all had a run that has been ruined by paratroopers at least once. It doesn't matter how many transports you have, how much air superiority, paratroopers can and will screw you over. And yeah, that's basically all we can do. Assuming that somehow we take them, yes, we can get cores on pretty much all of them, which is fine, I suppose. I will acknowledge that Balkan ambitions exist, which is something. You can do the Balkan Federation. Okay, fine. Hero of the Revolution is a good focus. The compliance gain alone makes it a good focus. But unless you do this focus, you're not going to get them. I've said it before, I don't think war goals are a good reward from a focus tree. Because they're just so easy to get. I can just justify on Poland, there we go, cancel. They're just not that good of an upside. And that just makes me realise, you have to do so much work to make this actually succeed. Meanwhile, all other Hungarian paths pretty much get their cores for free. Now, I'm fairly certain that was the point. Paradox is trying to do something different, make you work for the cause, but I'm sorry, I just can't say this is a particularly good path. It's definitely better than the old communist tree, but that's not a high bar to clear. Not the least because this is actually a very short path. There are not many focuses left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 focuses left. It's so short, and so was the other path too. But at least the other one was short and sweet. Meanwhile, this one is short and not that good at all. So until next time everybody, I thank you for watching, do hope you've enjoyed it, and until we meet again, from me, Bubbles Zest. Goodbye.